This tutorial today is going to introduce you to the concept of using a digital paragraph essay organizer. We all have students who have difficulty writing. Some students might have some form of written expression disorder. Perhaps they have ADHD that is correlated to that. Some students just become completely overwhelmed when they see a blank page in front of them and don't know where to begin. What this graphic organizer is meant to do is to sort of simplify that process for them. If you break that work down into smaller pieces, students may find it a little bit easier for them to complete. When they're not faced with this complete blank screen and they can begin to fill something in, it will work better for them. So let's begin by filling in our form here with our name. You can select the date from the calendar, drop down. The assignment name is going to be English paper. Very exciting. And then we'll give the English block, will be English block B, and we'll go to next. Now, as you see, we go in, and this is our introductory paragraph. We have the hook, which is the first sentence that's going to grab your attention. So we might write something like, dogs are man's best friend. That's our hook. And then we're going to supply some 1 to 2 sentences of connecting information to that, as well as our thesis and the 3 points we're going to focus on in our essay. This is a very simple way for students to just write something small that makes them feel as though they're putting something together and it's not as debilitating to them. So that's introductory paragraph. When you're completed with that, you move on to the next section, which is our body paragraphs. And this is your typical 5-paragraph essays. So we start with body paragraph 1, the topic sentence. Students write 1 topic sentence. Then they come up with 3 pieces of supporting detail to support their topic sentence. And then they move to the transition sentence, which brings them to body paragraph 2, where they follow the same formula again with body paragraph 3 until we get to the concluding paragraph. In the conclusion paragraph, it's very similar to the introductory. We restate our thesis. They're going to summarize their main points. This may take 1 sentence, 2 sentences, 3 sentences, but you see there's enough room there for them to do that. And then a final concluding sentence. Once they do that, they hit submit, and 2 things will happen. This information will automatically be transferred into a Google Sheet in their Google Drive, but they'll also get an email with the information of what they've submitted. So as you can see, here's our information of what we submitted. We didn't put a lot in there besides our hook, but it's there, right? So you'd go over here to your Google Sheet and you say, oh, there's my English paper I just started working on. Great. I'm going to show you now what this would look like if you start to merge it with a Google Doc. So rather than use this one, which isn't going to show you very much, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to give this one a try. And so what we'll do is we go up to our add-ons, and this is number, I want to make sure I get the number right. This is number 6. Just so you're clear, you're going to be merging row 6. That's why I wanted to check on that. So here's your add-ons. We select Autocrat, which is the add-on that allows us to merge. We click Open. Once we open that, the Autocrat dialog box will come up, and when we'll begin, we can make some changes to that Autocrat dialog box. And this is what we want to be able to let students know so that they can save their paper in such a way that they know exactly which paper it is they saved. So here's our 5-paragraph essay. We'll go into click on the pen icon, which allows us to edit that. And then you'll see the job name is the 5-paragraph essay. The job name will stay the same. You're going to choose your template. Your template is already chosen. Your template is going to stay the same. Next, we're going to map source our data to our template. This is where it is very important. We're going to pick the data row. So I said because I wanted to show you something that's a little bit more extensive, I'm going to show you the data from row 6. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go back, and I forgot to show you one piece of information that is really important, which is after we do map source the data, we're going to make our file setting. So we're going to give that file setting a name. We're going to call this our English essay first draft. and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna save. And then our job will begin to save, and they'll be ready for us to merge. Once we're saved and we're ready to merge with our Google Doc, we're just going to click on this arrow here. It looks like a little play arrow. It's run the job. We'll run the job, and you'll watch as you'll see it'll start to merge that sequence. It'll finalize it, and then we will go into Google Docs, and we will have a completed, we will have that essay ready to go. So there we go. We can go into our Google Docs. Once we get into Google Docs, you will see that the document will be here. Okay, so we'll click on that first draft, and you open it up, and you will find that your document has completely merged and formatted itself into its own essay. So as you can see, there are several paragraphs here. This is your traditional 5-paragraph essay. So now the student has a couple of choices. Let's say the student meets with the teacher and wants to make some changes. If that, can go back to their email, and now that they've met with the teacher, they can see their entire essay. Sorry about that. The entire essay will be put into will be sent to their email in basically the sort of format, database style format of which it was entered. And so if after they met with the teacher, they need to edit anything in that essay, they'll edit this submission, which is down there on the bottom, and they can go in. You'll see it's already pre-populated with all the information, and they can go in and make any of the changes that they and their teacher talked about right here on the document. And once they've made their changes, so I'll make a change here, I'll just add it. Supporting evidence is great, can't be any better, period. They can go ahead, go through the pages and hit submit. And once again, they'll go back in and they'll merge that document again. And that's how you just hit that merge sequence again. I guess the drawback to this is that they'll have many documents with the same name, so they'll have to be very careful about when they open up their document. Now, to make sure they're opening up the correct one. Now, they can go ahead and make those changes right in the document itself once it's written. It may be less threatening to them, and that's fine as well. But if they want to do it this way, they can do it this way also. So once that's done, we will merge it. We will open the merge, and we will see that that line that I added is there. And it just takes a few minutes to do that. Okay, so now just open that up now that we see it's there. One more time. There we go. Now I just want to make sure that the change that I made is there. Let's see where it is. Supporting evidence is great. Can't get any better. There it is. There's the line we added. So that's pretty much what you do. Now, as I was starting to say, the students will have a couple of options to them. They can go ahead into their email and edit the submission through the form. But if at this point they're comfortable with what they have because there's something in front of them and now it's not as threatening or scary, they can just go ahead and bring the teacher's suggestions home and go right into the document and edit it, and then finish the document right here inside the Google Doc. That's totally up to them, but certainly it will help your students who are a little bit stressed by a complete blank page to get the process of writing started and show them that they've actually got a lot of information once they merge. So this is part one of my presentation, and I will be showing you how to set up these forms to get all of these things working together in order for the students to actually use them.